The acting Nigerian High Commissioner to Ghana, Gambo Yusuf Hamza, has made a passionate appeal to the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Bagbin, and the Parliament of Ghana to intervene in order to have the country's land borders reopened. The acting High Commissioner says traders and businesses who ply these land borders have had their businesses adversely affected by the closures, and this has slowed down economic activities, which has in turn affected the revenues governments generate from these borders. Mr. Gambo Yusuf made the appeal when he led a delegation to pay a courtesy call on the Speaker of Parliament to discuss issues of mutual cooperation between the two countries.
I want to make an appeal to Honorable Speaker concerning the closure of borders. The issue of the opening of shops of Nigerian traders has been resolved amicably, but being people that have one or two issues, a number of issues which they are appealing to us to resolve, we are appealing, the High Commission is appealing to the Ghanaian government to see to the reopening of the border so that our petty traders, those that could not afford a flight ticket to travel to Nigeria, will be able to ply the road and do their petty trading. And it will also help the Ghanaian petty traders going to Nigeria to buy their items. In as much as I know that these borders were closed due to the pandemic of COVID-19, which is a very good thing to do. It's a very good thing to do, and we quite support the initiative of the Ghanaian government to close the borders. But what we want to appeal to is, while we are observing the COVID-19 protocol, we should look at the plight of those that are being incapacitated by not being able to travel by road. This is just an appeal. I'm not challenging the Ghanaian government decision in any way. What I'm appealing for is, since the borders are closed due to COVID-19 pandemic, maybe the government may wish to devise means. I cannot tell the government what to do, maybe to devise means of checking people at the borders going in or coming out of the country. So another thing, Honorable Speaker, which I want to appeal to the government is the issue of residence permit. The money being charged for residence permit, we feel we are appealing to the Parliament to look at it in a bit, to review it, because we believe that if it is reviewed, more Nigerians, I want to believe once it is reviewed downwards, more Nigerians will be able to pay and renew their residency.
On its part, the Speaker, Alban S.K. Bagbin, assured the delegation of his commitment to see the 8th Parliament live up to expectation. He says the many artificial borders created by our colonial masters must not serve as an impediment to sub-regional integration. Alban Bagbin urged African leaders to rise up to the challenges confronting the continent and implement solutions that will improve the socio-economic conditions of Africans.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives of Nigeria, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiela, got in touch with me. We had a virtual meeting, and then he's been from his office, getting in touch with my office on personal connections, and we're working towards getting all these issues resolved. We have looked at the parliamentary perspectives, where Parliament will have to intervene to amend some laws, to be able to effectuate the decisions that are being taken. And Parliament is ready and willing to do so. So it should not be a problem. I mean, from time to time, even when you have your lovely wife, and sometimes you don't fight, the marriage, it becomes boring. You know, the way God has created the world, God has created a free world, unlimited, not constrained by anything. And so has God created the human being. You know, we should not be creating artificial barriers. We should allow human beings and the countries to flow. There are advantages and disadvantages in everything. But the truth is that God has created the differences in us. And we must all recognize that God has created those differences in us and agree to work along those differences. When we had, before the 69 Aliens Compliance Order, the commercial and trading sector of our country completely taken over and dominated by people who had migrated from Nigeria, and then the Lebanese and the Syrians. Then that time a few Indians had come, but they were in the trade, and those were their strengths. You know, that is what God has done to them, and that is where they excel. Unfortunately, some people look at it with some eyes.
Let's get on to Zoom for more on this. Richard Ampabing is a trades expert. He joins me right now for this conversation. Mr. Ampabing, I'm grateful for your time. What has been the impact of the closure of land borders on trade so far?
Well, I hope you are talking about the land borders which have been closed.
Yes.
And if it is so, the impact in terms of revenue cannot be quantified. And if you ask me, it has rather even helped in raking more revenue. If you look at last year revenue of Ghana Revenue Authority, they even exceeded target. And this year is looking very, very bright. So in terms of revenue, the closure of the borders to me is preventing cross-border smuggling. And as a result, a lot more revenue is coming.
What then do you say of those who depend on trading along those borders? That is their livelihood.
In other words, you are asking me, we have to allow smuggling. If that is the point, yes.
No, but we have border posts. There are people who do genuine business without going through the unapproved routes.
No, the point here is that, look, infrastructure in terms of transportation has improved a lot. And today, if you want to trade between Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Nigeria, Ghana, Niger, air transport is there, ship transport is there, but what is absent now, to me, is the road transport. But we must not look at the closure of land borders with only trade in mind. It goes beyond trade. Nobody has told me, but if you look at the actions of militant groups and cross-border crimes, this closure, in a way, has tamed it a bit in our country. And therefore, any attempt to stampede the opening of borders, to me, might cause more damage to the country than the revenue we are looking for, which, so far as my checks are concerned, the revenues are coming.
Definitely, there will be a time when the land borders will be reopened. When it does happen, what do you recommend as a country that we do to check our borders and keep it intact whilst we also advance trade?
That is what African Free Continental Trade Area is talking about, that we needed to harmonize our tariffs, talking about custom tariffs. If we did that, there will be no need to smuggle rice from Cote d'Ivoire to Ghana, rice from Ghana to Nigeria, rice from Ghana to Togo. These are the petty things which is disturbing trade in our sub-region. Always people take advantage of the other. Where what is cheaper, they send it to where it is expensive, and as such, they also dodge payment of duties. So harmonization, to me, if it happens, then we can open our borders. And also our security, the sub-regional security, must also collaborate and make sure that cross-border crimes are tamed. If we don't do that, I'm sorry, we open ourselves to all manner of crime.
I'm grateful for your time. Ebenezer, Richard Ampabing is a trades expert.